Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Meet and Greet show with yours truly, Aisha. Now the world breaks everyone, but some are stronger in the broken places. Today I'm going to be meeting a very interesting man. He grew up in the slums of Korogocho, one of the deadliest slums in Kenya, whereby distinguishing dinner from danger was a very essential skill. Now from his story, you will learn that with fight and determination, you can rise from grass to grace. He goes by the name Hamza Hassan. Hamza Hassan is the founder of House of Hope that deals with team building, corporate training, mentorship, entrepreneurship, and motivation. His mission in life is to inspire people with his story, coming from a humble background, with his famous tagline, Unaweza. I am at the Karai Indian and Swahili cuisine with a very inspiring Hamza Hassan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hamza, tunaweza ama hatuwezi?
Tunaweza, tushaweza. Niko hapa na niko katika meet and greet na Aisha Khan.
Kabisa ushafika, ndio.
Tushaweza bwana.
Haya basi. Who is Hamza Hassan in a minute?
Hamza Hassan is a young person that is striving to show people that it's not the place of your birth, not the color of your skin, but the size of your hope that matters in where you want to go.
Amazing.
I was brought up in a small village. I think haiko hata kwa Google Map.
Okay.
It's called Gulkola. Gulkola is just a stone throw away from Korogocho. I was brought up by two mothers, my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother came from Kitui.
Yeah.
And she, at a point in life, she was coming to Nairobi on foot because of the problems that she had at home. She lost, my mother is born of 6 siblings.
Okay.
But 5 of them died. So my grandmother came to Nairobi. She started working as a waiter in a bar.
Okay.
My mom joined her. So we found ourselves living in a place called Gulukola, like I told you. And Alhamdulillah, we went through challenges.
Now let's get to that. You know, growing up in one of the deadliest slums in Kenya.
Yeah.
How was life for you as a young boy growing up in such a setup? Tell me about your story.
Life was difficult at that point. Now I look at it as a lesson or as a stepping point. But at that point it was difficult. You see, in the slums there's a lot of good things also. But you see, the things that you see every day are young. You see, you want to wear good clothes and good shoes, you know, and eat good food. But the people that you look up to, the people that are wearing good clothes and doing the things you want to do, are thugs, are either selling drugs or doing vices that are not good for you, the community. So it was not easy. It was not easy for me. And my parents separated when I was very young.
Okay.
And my mother had to do what she had to do for us to survive.
Yes.
So from age 9, I used to go sell milk with my mother.
Okay.
You see, after school, you know, when the bell rings and the children are running home, everyone is happy, you know. I used to be very sad because at this time, I would go home, change. No, I didn't have enough clothes. I would just remove my shirt, remain with my shorts, and go sell milk. I would be coming home at 11 with my younger brother. It was 3 years younger than he was 3 years younger than I am. So we'll come at that time. That is the time that we'll be cooking supper.
Yeah.
Supper will be ready by around 1. We eat. The next day we have to repeat. I'm thankful to Allah and then to my mother because she made sure, even when our household items were thrown outside and a padlock added to our house because she couldn't pay rent on time, or even when I was sent home from school every time, my mother made sure we never slept hungry.
Now Hamza, what was the reaction of, you know, when the bell rings, you know, all the children are running home and happy to go home, and here you are, you're going to sell milk, and of course you would meet, you know, your fellow schoolmates. What was the reaction towards you from them? Did they make you feel less of a child at that point?
You know, Aisha, people look at me, the person that I am today, you know, they see my videos, they see the smiley person I am, and they don't know where I've come from. When I was young, you know, I was like the laughing stock. in school.
Okay.
You know, at that time, when I was young, you know, I hated myself because some of our customers were my classmates. And you see, when I'm going from home, a few kilometers, a place from our home to Kariobangi, passing all those estates, they could look at me, my clothes were not the best. You see, I had dirty clothes, I was fat, I was short, see, and I'm going to sell milk. Actually, one time, just so that you get the perspective.
Yes.
One time, my mother had given birth.
Okay.
And I couldn't go to school for 3 days so that I can go sell milk,
yes,
so that we can have something to eat at home. And after these 3 days, you understand, my mom has to go sell milk and I have to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is my elder brother, who at the time knew English, wrote me a letter to the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher took the letter and she read it in front of class. I was in class 5
okay,
then. She read it in front of class. Mm-hmm. So you imagine, huyu hakukuja shule, mamake alikuwa amezaa, alikuwa ameenda kuuza maziwa. So it was just like, you know, inside, you know, it's like you see a house, the wall inside is okay, but inside is breaking.
Yeah.
That was me when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, Hamza, how did all this affect you psychologically as a child? And what would you do to keep sane and still keep going and you know, not giving up at that point as a child?
Well, that's a very good question. You know, when you are young,
yeah,
and you are going through something like that, your self-esteem, I had the lowest self-esteem. I did not have friends, you know. I hated myself.
Okay.
You know, I just wished I could live a life like the other kids. You know, they didn't have to go sell milk like we did. They played. When I was young, Aisha, boys rode something we call Farah, or played Bano. I didn't do that. I didn't have time for that.
Okay.
Because I had to go sell milk. Mm-hmm. So something else, you know, like I told you, I was short, and I used to be very fat, and something else.
Mfupi round.
It's actually kijana, si mtoto.
Oh,
anyway.
Lakini ulikuwa mtoto.
Anyway, something else you can see up to now. I have a condition. It's called hyperhidrosis. I used to sweat a lot, especially when I was young. So you see, you're sweating, your face is sweating, your feet, the hands. So you imagine how you feel when the others, they get that as something to pick up on. Mm-hmm. You know, you have no friends, you have low self-esteem, you are sweating. You get my point. Mm-hmm. So I just wish someone would picture that and see, this is the person that I was, not the person that I am today.
Amazing. We all have a journey and we come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, in the beginning, you just mentioned that you were raised by your mother alone, you know. She was a single mother.
Yes, yes, yes.
Did you ever feel that you lacked fatherly love?
Of course, you know, there's a reason why Allah created both parents.
Yes.
And I really felt it, to be honest. I really felt it. Actually, I remember I was in class 8. I was in class 8 and a young man was transferred to our school. His name is Gabriel. And Gabriel became my friend. You know, I had no friends in school and I had no friends at home.
Okay.
And partially at home because my mom thought nitaharibiwa, peer pressure from the young people around. So Gabriel was the first person that was both my friend in school and at home. And I learned from Gabi how to fold trousers. I was 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
And Gabi had been taught by his father. So you imagine that longing. I wished if I had a father, he would have taught me. When I was young, I saw my mom being beaten and headbutted by someone, and I was around 7 years old, and I stood there crying. I wished if I had a father, something like this would not have happened. And one time, I come home from school, and I find my father at home. I knew him, we saw pictures, I had seen him when I was young. Yes. So I find him at home. And because out of the excitement, I was late for school. So my mom told him to escort me to school. So we go, and just past the gate, I don't know what happened, but just past the gate, my father slapped the life out of me. I don't know what happened, but so I ran to class in tears, but it was half in pain and half in hope that someone will just find me, a classmate will catch me in tears and ask me why I'm crying, and I would say, my father beat me, just to have a feel of being a member of my father club. You know, how do you feel when you are in class 3, class 5, and your classmates are talking about their father? Oh, my father bought this for me. Oh, my father did this for me. My father, you know, yesterday he whipped me. You just have that longing for a father. So Aisha, you imagine, you're in class 3, you're in class 5. Your classmates, they are talking about their fathers. And you are there, you don't have a father. How do you feel?
So there is that lack of the fatherly
I had
love.
that longing for a father. Just, you know, just to say my father, my father, my father. Yes.
Do you think today you would be a better man if he was present in your life when you were younger?
Well, I don't know. I think both ways. Allah knows. I think this is one of those things that you say Allah knows best.
Yes.
Because looking in retrospect is, I am the person I am today. I'm a sum of everything that I've been through. Maybe if he was there, we would have lived a different life, maybe a better life. I wouldn't have the passion that I have today.
Yes.
I wouldn't know the things that I know today. You know, selling milk with my mom, I had to deal with grown-ups, and it taught me a lot of things. Just to, so you understand. When I was young, we had a neighbor, next door neighbor. And, you know, at home, you know, us, when we were cooking like meat, we'll buy, a family of 9, we'll buy half kg of meat. And we had to put like a sack of sukuma wiki, so much sukuma wiki so that everyone can get. But this next door neighbor, when I was young, I thought they were the richest people in the world, because of course they were living in a single room like us, but I will go there and I will find them cooking, dry frying meat until it turned brown, and they didn't have to add sukuma wiki. They had a television, they had good clothes, they had shoes. They are the first people that I saw smearing Blue Band on one side and jam on the other, such that when the breads were piled on top of each other, you'll see yellow, red, and then you just wish. But this man, during the holidays, the family will go on holiday up country. The first Saturday, that's the long holidays. The first Saturday they will go up country, and then this man every day he will bring a different woman while drunk. You see, a while later this man died, and the wife, he went through a lot of difficulties because this is a wife that was not working. Initially, the husband did not permit her to work. So you see, she has no job experience, she has no networks, and that really like now brought her down to rock bottom, and there was no one there for her. So to add insult to injury, the family, after this man died, the family came and swept everything. The husband's side, they carried everything. So you find. And that really like broadened your perspective to say, you know, thank God I have my mother here. Yes, things may not be perfect, but we are a happy family with however little we have. At that time. But now, you know, I learned from my mother. I've learned hard work, determination, persistence, you know, creating a road, going to a road less traveled and making a road out of that. So I've learned that. That's something that, so if I had a father, I would have ended up like this family. Yes. Now Hamza, you know, just from this you have shared, you know, your story about the struggles, but there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Now we'll be taking a short break and we'll be right back. In the next segment, we're going to learn how Hamza rose from grass to grace. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. For those of you who are joining us right now, I am with Hamza Hassan, a man who went through a lot of troubles, you know, in his childhood. And in the first segment, he spoke about where he had to sell milk to put food on the table while his classmates laughed at him. Now let's look at how the story turns, you know, from grass to grace. Welcome back to the show. The story is rising.
It's rising, but you know, there is some levels that we are climbing. Yeah. So Hamza, you spoke about everything, your school life. Now let's go back, you know, to after high school. We know Korogocho, you know, one of the deadliest slums in Kenya, where there's theft, there's crime, there's everything that's happening there. What happened to you?
First of all, before I go after high school, I just want to brush on high school and a little bit about my schooling.
Yeah.
You know, the first year that I was not sent home for school fees was in 2003. That is after Kibaki became the president of Kenya. I was in class 8.
Yeah.
And he made free primary education. And then after I finished primary, I was going to high school. And my mom was looking for a school that she could afford. And she found a school that, if I was to tell you to guess, I think we'll stay here for 10 years or more. She found a school that she was paying 2,500 shillings a term.
Wow.
And when I walked into the class, I found 4 students. Literally, I was the 5th one in the whole school.
Amazing. Wow.
But alhamdulillah, we got nice teachers and we really worked hard. We got average or good grades. After high school, it was very difficult because now you are a young person. We are 7 plus my grandmother and my mother in a single room. So as a young man, you have to now start fending for yourself, you know. And now you see the situation at home, you want to bring in something, you know, you have that urge or that feeling. So I joined a youth serving organization or in the community.
Yeah. So
I went from one organization that we were volunteering, I became an actor. Actually, I bought my first mattress.
Wow.
As an actor, I was paid 8,000 shillings. And at that time, I was living in a house that I was paying 1,500 a month. So I started acting. We started doing something called peer-to-peer training.
Yeah.
You learn something about, we used to teach young people about HIV, drugs, family planning. So I became very, very good at it. And I came from grassroots to national level.
Okay.
That I would sit in an organization that brought in young people from all over Kenya and at times even all over the world. Yes.
Now, when you were a child, you had very low self-confidence. But as you grew up, you know, things changed. What did it take from you to reach where you are today?
You know, you get to a point in life, and then, you know, it's like you have a gun and you have one bullet. And when you aim it, you have to hit your target.
Yes.
You know, I still had, like, my hands up to now still sweat. So I had to, first of all, I had to give it my all. Aisha, I found out, or, you know, human beings are like mines, gold mine, diamond mine. You might think you have low self-esteem, but deep inside of you, you have courage. You just have to find it. So in the midst of having a low self-esteem, I found out that I had some skills, that I had courage, that I had a sense of humor, that I could speak and people would listen.
Yeah.
And then what happened is I started, they say, fake it until you make it.
Yes.
So I started faking it, or faith it until you make it. So I started faking it. I would stand and I was, inside I was breaking, but I would say something that people would laugh, or people would ponder on it, and then people started knowing me. And then that gave me confidence to, you know, you are confident here, people want to listen to you, it gives you confidence to go to the next level, until I'm here, alhamdulillah.
Now let's go back to 2015. You know, you were born a Muslim, but have grown up, you know, in Christianity.
Yeah.
What led you to embrace Islam?
So maybe I just give a little background.
Yes.
So my father is a Muslim and my mother is a Christian, but they separated when I was young. So I grew up with my mother. At times we were like something Abu Najma calls Christmas. Christian Muslims, you are there and confused. During Eid, we will eat like meat, pilau. During Christmas, we will slaughter chicken and cook chapati. So we were a bit confused. And then my mom started now going to church. I was actually baptized in church. I was baptized. But then, you know, because my name is, I actually refused to change my name. My name is Hassan Hamza since I was born. And I baptized, and even in my baptism card, it's written Hassan Hamza. So what happened is, I loved my name first. You know, I love that name had an affection towards it. I wanted to know about Islam. And then when I used to go to church with my mom, I would have a lot of questions. Like, this mat is a church, this one is another church, these ones are clapping, these ones are beating drums. So I used to have a lot of questions. Why are things so?
Why is there no uniformity?
Yes. So I started, you know, asking questions about Islam. But what happened, I was working in an organization, and we used to go to schools to train kids. So I used to work in this organization, and our job was to go and train pupils and talk to pupils in school. But during the holidays, we will come back, and the curriculum that we had, we will do something called a retraining. So I noticed during the lunch break and after 4, the Muslims will go and pray. And these are people that I had gone to the same primary school with. So, but they never told me once, let's go and pray. But just one day, I don't know what happened. I cannot explain it. But I just got up, went to pray with them. They taught me how to take wudu. They taught me how to pray. But I didn't take shahada. And they assumed I knew about Islam. Aisha, you'll be amazed that I didn't know that there are 5 prayers. I didn't.
You were just going with the flow.
I used to, when I felt stressed, I will go to the mosque. And if I found shoes outside, I will know it's time for prayer, go in, pray, and then go back. But if there are no shoes, I won't go in. And that day will just be gone like that. Then I started praying one time, like Duhur, every day. Then it came to Dur and Asr. Then it became Dur, Asr and Maghrib, Dur, Asr and Maghrib and Isha. Then Isha, Fajr was very difficult. So what happened is, during Ramadan, one of the families, a young man took me from the mosque and to their family to eat iftar. And you know, now because you are there, I had to go back for Isha. The next day they will tell me, we didn't see you during Fajr. And I started loving going to the mosque. And Alhamdulillah, I got into Dawah. And the rest, is, as they say, is history.
It's history.
Yes.
Hamza, we all know, you know, you inspire us and say to Unaweza. Tell us a little bit about your family life that you keep very secret to yourself.
So I'm married.
I
have a wife that I love so much, and a daughter that is now, as the date of recording, she's 18 months.
Mashallah.
Yes.
Amazing.
Her name is Haya.
Haya.
Yes.
That's daddy's girl. Now, there is a lack of mentorship when it comes to the boy child. What do you have to say about this?
Well, it's true. It's true. And when every day you'd see initiatives that people went somewhere, talked to girls, and they gave them pads, sanitary pads, it's a good thing. But the problem is where the boy child is sidelined. And this girl child that we are empowering will be in a relationship or will be married by this boy that you are sidelining. You know, so it's a call from me, for me first, and to other men, and also parents and stakeholders to try as much as possible to empower the boy child. On myself, on my.
What are you currently doing to empower the boy child?
I have started something called Unaweza. Unaweza for boys. Yes. So I want to have like hikes. I want to have outings. I want to have town hall meetings with young people to empower them and to give them, you know, when I was growing up, I lacked basic necessities. I was talking to a friend of mine some times back, and we were actually laughing. In the slums, we were asking ourselves, when did you start brushing your teeth? How old were you? So you see, in the slums, something like brushing your teeth, boxers, soap, vest, shoes, these are things that the boy child needs. And that, for me, I've started that part, and I hope I'll have support from you and from the people watching.
Hamza, how did House of Hope come about? Your journey into motivation.
Nice. So in 2015, you know, when I became I started practicing Islam, and I told you about the things I used to do about HIV, you know. Now I started looking for something that I can do, that I'm passionate about, and that is halal.
Okay.
So I found a book. I went to an event. I was gifted a book, and then I found someone that had started a public speaking or motivational speaker, and he wanted to train people how to do it. So I went, and the most important thing that I learned there is how to go back into my journey and break it down and get the lessons, and these lessons I can share to other people. I call it spreading the salt of my energy and passion to the meat of people's lives.
Amazing. Amazing. That was so deep. Kiingereza mingi sana. So, yeah.
Okay, so I found out that I had the passion. Whenever I went to talk to people, they would listen. Some people would cry whenever I write something about my journey and the lessons that I've learned and the inspiration.
It would resonate with
yes,
people.
with a lot of people. And so I found it as something that, if this is the path that I'm taking and people are going with me, so let us go. Yes.
The word Unaweza, that's your slogan.
This one.
Yeah. How did it come about?
So that was in 2016 when I started motivation. And then in our class, we were given an assignment to do a 5-minute speech. So I went and I wrote a very emotional 5-minute speech. And when I presented it, it was voted to be the best, and I was actually gifted a book. So what happened is a friend of mine, his name is Philip. I hope Philip if he's watching. So Philip really is my mentor. He's someone that is very good. He's been in the community for a very long time.
Yes.
So he kept pushing me. Hamza, I saw this video and it's very good. When are you going? What are you doing about it? For like 2 years, every time we meet, I will give an excuse. So one day, he was tired. They told me, now you cannot motivate people when you are not inspired yourself.
Yes.
Either you quit it, or if you want to do it, give it your all. So I told him, I give you 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks, I'll reproduce 2 videos, motivational. So that was a deal. So I went just in front of the camera and just gave it.
Did your
just
thing.
did my thing.
Yes.
So I sent to people and people looked at it and said, it's good, but it lacked this. So I went, and the next one that I did, I put it on social media. In like 2 days, it had 2K views, a lot of comments,
And that really motivated you.
It really motivated me. So I kept on doing these videos. And then one day, I was doing a video in Sheng.
Okay.
In Sheng. And then I said, when I was finishing, I said, kijana, unang'ang'ana, usip give up, unaweza.
Yeah.
And my cameraman, the editor, everyone, it stuck.
Yeah.
And then it resonated with me, because from where I've come from and the message that I want to pass to people, it really resonated with me. So, and I picked it up.
Amazing. What is, very briefly, your final message to youth out there?
My final message to young people, it's just like I started, I like to tell them, it's not the place of your birth, the color of your skin, but the size of your hope that will take you where you want to go.
We have come to the end of the meet and greet show, and this time I'm not going to sign out the normal way, because they say a great man is one word, and I have him here, Unaweza. Now, I want us to turn to the camera, Hamza, and I want you to teach me how to do Unaweza.
Okay, so you, with both your feet, but unaweza, hapo unavuta, you elongate it, and then with passion.
Okay, twende.
Okay, so 1, 2,
3.
Unaweza!
We give thanks and praise to Allah for what we are. Mashallah,